So we have a little move up in the dollar. I was expecting maybe Monday, Tuesday, a slight bounce. So far, it's what we've got in the dollar. Nothing too dramatic. Maybe it needs some news just to decide, when it fades. But just looking at this descending here, maybe we fade soon. I was thinking maybe a bit of a bounce back to where it was kind of finding a bit of support before it started to flush here. So maybe we move up to something like 103.5 and then fade back down again. That would be really ideal for the metals and commodities in general. So yeah, a small continuation in the dollar bounce, nothing too dramatic. Likewise, yields, maybe not this morning, but there you go, that small bounce. I start with a 30-year. See this ascending, that's where it bounced from. We've got a small continuation. And again, like I said before, unlike the dollar, could fade very soon, and then we want to see it basically close below this ascending, then we can go probably all the way back down to 4%, hereabouts. Then it would hit sort of this horizontal, but it could go a little lower and start, hit four, the actual big round number, which will coincide with, the lows down here, basically. 10-year, pretty similar stuff. Could go a little bit higher, probably just fade at the same time as the dollar, and that'll go back down, and that will hit roughly here, right? 3.8-ish. And then we'll see, huh? Then there's a bigger move to come. Oof, this could coincide with, well, I was going to say presidential election, but that's really far away. But, it's time to zoom out maybe if big strategic lines are lost. The 2-year also, look, that's a bit of a stronger bounce. But again, I feel like a little higher, but no way do we go all the way up here. Uh, I mean, anything is possible, but I don't see that happening. I don't see us going to 4.75, just maybe max 4.7 and then fade. And this is definitely stronger than the 10 and 30. So yeah, yields bouncing along with the dollar, but I expect both to fade today slash tomorrow and then come back down. And that'll help commodities. What I'm going to do now is actually look at commodities because I haven't done I just realized I didn't cover all the other commodities. I got so excited with gold and silver, which is slightly understandable. So here's copper. Obviously, that also went up, right? It's another metal. So we're testing the highs up here. So we took out this descending, but that's not too dramatic. That's also relevant now. This is the big line here. So this 3.95 has been in resistance for a while. Yes, we popped our head above and even closed above 4, but that was a fake out, and it's never obvious until the day after, is it? But 3.95. So what I think it really needs to do, first of all, to close above 3. Let's just say 4.2. Let's say a close above this high, just to be really sure. 4.02, right? Maybe 4.03. Then you can zoom out and say, okay, what's next? And then, well, what's next is 4.18-ish. And sorry, what's that? 4 point, yeah, let's just say 4.2, big round number. And then the old high all the way up here. So we are soon, just got to close above 4, but really 4.03. Then you can start to look at really 4.4, bigger move to come because copper's got as bullish story as gold and silver. I mean, it's a commodity and it's a production commodity. It's needed for all the green revolution and not even the green revolution for everything. So copper long term should really be rising as much as gold and silver, if I understand the general thesis correctly. So you could expect this to go up a bit more. I mean, it's held the lows quite well, so time to go up with everything else. The lows, I don't think we're going to come back down, but if we do, this sort of 3 points, low 3.7s should be support. I don't see it going all the way back down to here. Okay, natural gas. This one also ridiculous. We had a bounce, and I mean, technically, it doesn't really follow all the rules, but we flushed. Then we started to bounce here. We went all the way back to 2. That was kind of perfect technical stuff, which is basic trading, right? Went to the scene of the crime, and then it's come back down again. Now it's looking weak. So does it go to the lows of 1.6, or do we actually flush? I mean, it's unbelievable. Zoom out, look where you are. We hit all-time lows pretty much. Do we go to even lower numbers? It's just crazy. I don't understand it. I'm no longer long. I said this a while ago. I got out of my eroding ETF. I was in an ETF which would erode with time. So I just thought, no, I'm not up for holding this for the big pop. And thank God I did because I mean I got out on the pop here. And since then I don't even want to see it because it's gonna be lower than this. So this should find some support at its lows, but honestly, it should be going up. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but I haven't found the instrument to trade natural gas. And at the moment, I'm focused on the metals, but this is unbelievable historic lows. Oil, this one here is in this little triangle. So we got the basically 80. It needs to close above 80. And until it does that, it's just going sideways. If it does drop, I see this ascending support. So by the time it hits that, it's going to be about 75. So if we do go down to 75, it should be a bit of a buy. So obviously it's about to close, so it could go lower than 75, but I see it really breaking out. And if it breaks out, it's got this major descending triangle, descending trend line to take out. So it could go to 80, 4.5, find a bit of resistance. And as soon as you close above that, bam, straight to 95. So oil is still bullish, but still waiting for that 80 close to go higher. Now, uranium is the one that's really interesting. So I was watching this quite carefully, even whilst watching gold and silver. We flushed this ascending support, which has been there for some time. This is like a medium term support. We revisited it and it acted as resistance. Yes, we went a bit higher, but that next day here, look at this day here. What is it? The 8th of March, just huge reversal. I was watching CCJ. I think it was up 5% on this big day, and the next day it's down 5.5, 6%, which is a bigger move. I mean, obviously, but when you're down 10%, it's bigger than being up 10%. And it's like the value you lose. So, I mean, for example, you go down 50% in the stock, you got to go 100% just to go back up to it. So it was a bigger drop and it was a bit of a bearish engulfing. And now we're sort of stabilizing. But I do feel like, and I'm really not sure about this, and I'm kind of hoping this, so this is not gospel stuff, but I feel like we could come down here and I would love, obviously it'll bounce to go like that, I would love that and start going lower. No offense, uranium bulls, but I want in. I've wanted it for a while. It's been excruciating watching it go up, but maybe uranium, and you got the uranium miners, pretty similar chart, but look at this. They lost the ascending, and I've got this other one. I never really have this like parallel tram lines, but look at this. We're starting to lose that one. And can that start to go down? So obviously some of the good stocks are holding up quite well, but look, CCJ, the one that I'm going to buy if I do go in, you got this sort of, I mean, I used to have it here, but it's probably time to move it there. Look, once we start to close below this, and that's below 40, yeah, that's a big round number. Then you start to go down, right? And then you've got another sort of, maybe that'll be support because this is a big stock. I don't expect it to just free fall down. And some of these other ones in XE, I've sort of put them in order of strength. But once you go down the list, you can see how weak they are and how much they've topped. So, I mean, they've got support on the way, but uranium stocks or uranium could go lower. And that's more what I'm hoping. Otherwise, if we bounce, we just got to, if we bounce, it's got to really close above this. There you go. That's what it's got to do. It's got to go back up here and close above 29.5, let's say. And then you can start heading back up here and making me look like an idiot again. Okay, gold, gold and platinum and palladium real quick. Bit like copper, they haven't gone up much, but they are hitting their old medium-term resistance level. So let's call this 950, although it didn't hit that yet. So we want to see a close above 950 before we can start hitting 1,000 or higher on platinum. If it goes back down, it's going to be the old lows. I'm going to move that here, sort of just below 900. Let's say 870. Palladium, yeah, likewise, it's this old level here. Let's call that 1,060. The lows I'll leave in. But that looks okay. That looks bullish. And then after that, we can go back up here. And then stocks like SBSW can have a nice pop. Okay, gold and silver. This came back down to 2150. That was the first level I saw. Now, if we keep going lower, I see 2080. But for now, I expect it to just go sideways and stabilize. Let's see if we can hold this level before hitting new highs 2200. But, even if we came back down here, it would be healthy and it would be bullish. So let's see. I'm just going to leave it at that. We know the levels. We know the mentality of the market. We're very excited, but I kind of don't mind it going sideways because the miners are outperforming still. It's something I thought that might happen, even if we retrace. So silver also just not able to close above 2450. This also, I don't want to say it's outperforming, but it's not underperforming. So that's good to see. Let's just see if we can hold. I don't see this really as a level. It's 24. It is not really a huge round number, but Makes sense that it hit 24. That's the equivalent of 21.50 in gold. If we go lower, then down here we should find support. Could go a little lower. That sort of area here. But let's see if we can close about 24.50 on a pump. Then we go higher. I don't even think 25 will be a level. I'll leave it in anyway. You can see big round numbers are levels. So silver looks good. Um, let's look at the miners real quick. Real quick. Look at this. Yes, we were down 1.5%. Look at Silje, by the way, down 0.5%. This should be down more than all the minor ETFs. Look at this close at high of day. It's a blue candle, but it's a red day. This is very bullish, though. You know, when you've got gold, gold was down 1% or something, maybe more, right? It was down, yeah, it was down more than 1%. The miners should be down 3, 4, you know. Silje is down half. Silje is down half, and gold's down one and a bit. That's extremely bullish. That's kind of what I was hoping. And it's something I suggested in my last video. You know, do we outperform even on the drop? This suggests that a lot of people said, okay, the miners are massively underperforming. They've underperformed for ages. I think they're not going to underperform anymore. Metals are huge. The bull run's going to continue. I'm not waiting for a drop. I want to buy now. If it drops more, I'll buy more. And therefore, overall, it became stronger and stronger. And look at the close by high up days. So I want to see more of that. I don't mind a retracement lower in gold and silver. I expect, you know, it'll still drop 2, 3%, but I still expect it to overall outperform. And there'll be a higher low, and then up we go. So Silj, amazing. Close at high of day, only down 0.5%. GDXJ down 1%, pretty much the same as gold. That's also very bullish. Close at high of day. And GDX was actually the weaker one, but still look close at high of day. Nice hammer. And look at this touch here. Touched it perfectly. So overall, nice stuff in the metals too. Okay, that'll do. I don't want it to be a long video. I hope that was useful. Enjoy. Good luck to all of us.